Come on in, honey. The lantern's lit, the veil's a little thin, and the wind's been dying to carry a few secrets your way. Welcome to Raven's Ramblings, where the shadows walk beside us and the past never stays buried, and a good spell can speak louder than a sermon. I'm Raven Nightingale, part healer, part hellraiser, keeper of the old ways and ghost stories alike. So pull up a chair and listen close. You never know what might be whispering in the dark. Welcome back, my witchy souls, to Raven's Ramblings, where we wander through the mysteries of magic and moonlight and the spaces in between. So, Samhain has come and gone, and the veil has thinned, and not quite has begun to thicken because, Samhain is a season. So we still have another week or so of super thin veil and stuff, but it is starting to get ready to start thickening again. The candles have burned low and the harvest has been gathered. And now the world seems to exhale a little bit. This is what we would call the in between. It's that quiet stretch of time after Samhain, but before Yule, a time that the ancients might have called liminal, like a liminal space. It's neither here nor there, neither light nor dark, neither life nor death. And today we're going to explore what it means to kind of rest between those worlds, how we as witches can use this still and sacred pause to reflect and recharge and realign before the light begins again. Okay. So every turn of the wheel of the year has a heartbeat. All right. And Samhain is that deep exhale. It's the end of a cycle. All right. I say all right a lot, y'all. Sorry about that. One of these days I'm gonna get my vernacular, is that the right word? Mm. I'm gonna get my life together and this will sound way more professional, I swear. Where was I? Oh yes, back to my notes. Uh Middle of the year, everything has a heartbeat, silence or exhale. Yeah. So that is the end of that cycle. Now, Yule, the winter solstice, is that first gentle inhale, the promise of new beginnings. But right now, in this space, we kind of exist between those two breaths. That slight pause between the exhale of and then the inhale. And that space carries a very special kind of magic. And it's one that's super easy to overlook because it is so quiet. It's not a time for big spells or grand rituals or ambitious plans. It's a time for stillness, for sitting with what has been and kind of gently preparing for what's coming. So it's kind of like, think of it like this: it is the winter garden for your soul. All right. Everybody knows in the winter gardens kind of rest, right? Everything's kind of hibernating and chilling, right? The soil is resting, it's kind of covered in frost, and all the while, unseen roots. See, I can't speak today. Unseen roots are strengthening beneath the surface. So you can kind of ask yourself at this time of year, what is something I'm holding on to that is asking to be released? What seeds of intention am I quietly nurturing until Yule's returning light? This is a great time of year for that because something is super important, and I think we all forget because we get caught up in everything that's going on. Rest is not laziness. Rest is important, rest is needed, and it is ritual. We live in a world that glorifies constant motion and doing and talking and noise and things, and but we witches know that stillness holds power too. And this liminal season invites us to practice that magical rest, and honor that sacred pause that reconnects us to our own cycles. So some things we can try to kind of get in that headspace for those things. Spend an evening in silence. No music, no screens, no noise, just candlelight and your breath, and just breathe. You could brew a cup of chamomile or lavender tea, and while it's steeping slowly, meditate. Meditate on what your spirit needs for this next round of the cycle. You can also write in a journal. Yeah, I know, journal. I should be doing that. I know. I try. I really do try. And then I get distracted by shiny things because, yeah, chaos. I know. But write in your journal. Write things. Use the prompt of where am I still haunted and where am I healing? And journal about those things. And even the smallest act, lighting a candle with intention or pulling a single tarot card or simply lying beneath a fuzzy blanket in gratitude. Those things are all very small acts, but they are each one a spell in this space between the seasons. Okay. So the liminal space is very sacred. And so between Samhain and Yule, everything feels a little bit thinner, right? It feels different. It's not quite the shadow and it's not yet the sun. And it's a perfect time to reconnect with the subtle energies like ancestors or your spirit guides or even the quiet whispers of your higher self. It's a great time to focus on meditation and dream work and gentle divination because all of those things are super powerful right now. Keep a dream journal by your bed. A lot of times we do have dreams and wake up in the middle of the night, but then we're like, oh, well, I'll remember that in the morning. No, we won't. Very unlikely. Keep you a little dream journal beside your bed and jot the stuff down. And it doesn't have to be a full blown story. Just jot down those thoughts that kind of came to you as you woke up. Your impressions of the dream, that kind of stuff. Because the messages that come in this in between often speak in symbols. So pay attention to things that are repeating. If you see a certain set of numbers all the time, or if you see a certain bird all the time, all of those things could be messages of some kind. They're not always messages. I know. Not everything is a sign. Uh, not everything is a sign. But pay attention. That way, when those signs do come around, you notice them. And if you feel adrift, just remember that liminal spaces are not empty. They are not empty spaces. They are alive with unseen potential. The void itself is the womb of creation. So let yourself be suspended in that silence and in that space, in that sacred hush. You are not lost. You're not being lazy. You are becoming. All right. So here's a simple, not a couple, because I don't think I wrote my other one down. Here's a simple ritual for this season of stillness. This would be called the candle of quiet renewal. So find you a black or white candle, whichever one calls to you, or honestly, whatever candle calls to you. If black and white is not what blows your skirt up, baby, use a purple one. It'll be all right. Okay? This is your magic. This is your craft. Okay? Now, take your candle, sit in silence, and take 3 slow breaths. Then light your candle and whisper softly. Between the worlds, I rest and renew. In the silence, I find my truth. And as you watch that candle burn, imagine your spirit recharging, Like you are bringing in the warmth of the flame from that candle into your spirit and letting it fill you up. Kind of like moonlight filling up an empty cup. And then when you're ready, snuff your flame and thank the quiet for holding you. All right? Now, once again, resting between the worlds is not about doing, it's about being and being present within yourself. In this quiet, we meet ourselves without any distraction. We remember who we are as witches. We remember that magic does not always roar. It does not always have to be this giant, elaborate ritual and screaming from the rooftops. It can truly just be you curled up on a patio chair under a fuzzy blanket and just listening. Because sometimes the magic just whispers. So as you drift through this shadowed space between Samhain's End and Yule's dawn, give yourself permission to slow down, to rest, to listen. You are a part of nature's rhythm. And even the wildest witch, even those of us with the most chaos, must sleep beneath the stars sometimes. So until next time, dears, rest well, dream deeply, and may your spirit wake renewed when the light returns. Blessed be. Bye.